Illegal immigration, a hot topic in the US and Mexico. From the other side of the fence, it's all about the people. Next, on Global Pulse. There are more than 12 million illegal immigrants living in the US today. Who are the people risking so much to come to the US? Mexico's Once Noticias presents a diverse profile of illegal Mexican immigrants.
It is inequality, not poverty, that makes Mexicans leave their country and family. Mexican immigrants are not the poorest, often have an educated background better than most immigrants, use social networks to get into the U.S., security privileges instead of coyote fees, and have sufficient income to finance the travel.
En la frontera él parece más pequeño.
On the border, he looks so tiny, but his age wasn't a barrier for him to start his journey by himself to the U.S. Others do it with their parents, but in the end they are the same, far from home, family, and their roots. Boys, girls, and teenagers are the most vulnerable to the migration issue. The number of Mexican children migrating are on the rise, worrying international organizations. 50,000 children were sent back, and at least half of them traveled by themselves.
En el último año,
Not all immigrants want to spend the rest of their lives in the U.S. Mexico's Adela News profiled mothers with other plans.
Aleida is 32 years old and immigrated 9 years ago to New York with her husband from St. Toribio, Tlaxcala. 2 years later, she returned for her son, who was only a few months old when she left, and crossed the border again. Her plan is to return to Mexico, and she hopes that her children receive an education and achieve success. Maria is from Atlisco, Puebla. She is 23 years old and has a 6-month-old baby. She arrived in New York when she was 20 years old and without any special skills and unable to speak English, ended up working at a spa on Fifth Avenue as a pedicurist and manicurist.
One day, I think we are going to return. But right now, our plans have been to work. Work a little more, and then we'll leave.
While these women have dreams of someday returning to Mexico, Colombia's RCN shows the risky tactics many use trying to cross the border.
It is estimated that every year, at least 1 million people sneak through the holes in this border. But for every person who makes it, another is caught climbing the walls, or hiding like animals in cars, or dying of thirst in the desert, or of hypothermia in the Pacific Ocean. Many of the detained illegals are let go in the morning and attempt to cross again in the afternoon or on another day. It's like a game played by the coyote and the roadrunner. Right here in the detention center, we find Jesus Pedro, a man who has been entering and leaving illegally for 23 years. Is this the first time that you've tried to cross into the United States?
No. I've already been deported many times.
How many times?
About 6 times.
6 times? How do they treat you when you are caught and when you are returned to the country?
No, everything is okay.
So this means, I'm assuming, that you are going to try and cross again.
Yes, of course, yes.
This program is brought to you by Link TV for educational and non-commercial use only. Link TV is the only US network dedicated to global and national news, uncompromising documentaries, and diverse cultural programs. Programs which connect you to the world.